Hello, Prof. Yours. Okay, test. Okay. Hello, Prof. You hear me? Hello, Prof. Subu. You hear me?
Yeah, Prof. I hear
Okay.
you. Okay.
Okay. Great. We have 1 more minute.
Okay. I just prepare.
How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you from
Yeah, you work 7 days a week, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just I happy to do it, so I just make it happen. I make it better for me and so
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Good. So the next year you will organize any conference or not?
No,
No.
two
2 years a time.
2 years. Yeah,
Okay.
2025.
Okay. So if any chance, you invite my best friend, Dr. Jude, to join. He's the best one.
Oh, yeah. I just prepare to
Yeah.
uh, some uh, memorandum of MOU to Stowe and from to Mr. Jenilo, Prof. Jude, so from Prof. Zahir, so I can make some activities such as lecture, guest lecture, or visiting professor, and maybe collaboration research and publication. Maybe
Yeah.
I must prepare it of the MOU soon, and I send your I send you. But I need your email, yeah, Prof. Jude.
Yep, sure. I will give it to you, and then you can direct contact. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mhm. Okay, Prof. Subu. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, please be please be introduce yourself, and then talk a bit about your beautiful Powokoto, right? Over there is a hot spring. It is an unseen city, kinds of that, and your university a bit, and then we can start. Okay, so a very good afternoon, all the guests. Welcome back. Let's see that in this afternoon session, what will be the flexi topic and flexi talking going on. We have our best friend from Indonesia, from quite unseen city, Purwokerto, one among the designated tourism of Indonesia, not far from the Borobudur, Jogja, kind of
Yeah.
that. Yeah. So welcome, Dr. Subu. Talk about yourself and then your topic, please. Yep.
Okay. Very good afternoon, everyone. There, Professor Kamorat, Prof. Layunfa, Prof. Jujenilo, and Prof. Zahir. It's an honor for me to be the speaker in of a seminar training in that hall of Kutai Tamatirat Open University. Thanks to Stowe for this honor. My name is Subu Anggoro. I'm lecturer in Universitas Muhammadiyah Purwokerto. It's not too big university, but the Purwokerto is called retired city. So it's yeah,
City,
not
yes.
too not too hot, but not too far from beach too. I think it's 1 hour we can go to beach, yeah, and only 30 kilometer from a mountain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Today I'm going to presentation about how to success the international publication. So the public presentation will be 3 parts. First is why we must publish on international publication. Second strategies. The second is strategies for publishing of our work, and lastly is some elements for success to international publication.
Yeah.
Please, I saw my presentation.
Yeah. You share. Okay, we see it.
Okay, sorry. I must.
You got it?
Hey, wait a minute, Prof.
That's okay. That's okay.
Are you look it, Prof?
Not
Oh,
yet, Rob. Not
yeah.
yet,
Oh,
Rob.
sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. Dr. Subu University is very modern. It's a second big of the town. Sometimes we are not familiar to the Microsoft team. No? I seldom use Google Meet.
Usually I use Zoom and Google Meet. Microsoft, if invited, then
yeah, there is the screen. 20 January
No,
in Bahasa,
oh.
Indonesia.
CFA,
I think you stop first because the same PowerPoint came.
Okay.
Okay.
I must share that. I must change my computer, Prof. Sorry. I must change my computer, Prof. Wait a minute.
No problem, Prof.
Yeah. Doctor, could you please share my presentation with your camera?
Oh, you cannot share. Okay. You send it to my email or what?
No, just to your WhatsApp.
What apps? What app?
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see. Not come yet. You send it already?
Sorry, yeah, just already.
Okay, let's see.
WhatsApp group, yeah, Prof.
Yeah, let's see. Publication. Okay, I got it. Then let me share.
Yeah, thank you, Prof.
Okay, that's yours, right?
Thank you, Prof.
Okay, go on.
In first and second slide, Prof. Sorry.
Second slide.
Next.
Yeah, let me see that. Okay.
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 They're all sorry for in
ทำแคปหน้า
the
จอด้วยนะ
yeah. Sorry for the inconvenience. The reason for doing a research base is intrinsic interest in the subject material and to gain knowledge that is important for society, and last to gain a credential and improve career prospect. Publishing article can be a way of furthering its okay. Sorry. It is our third day, Prof. Yeah. Okay. The foundation of writing writing article is the seldom of a problem. So the knowledge of subject and original ideas is a vital, but the students should aim to write as frequently as possible. Writing every day is the best, but 4 or 5 days per week is satisfactory. It is generally better to write 15 minutes each day than 3 hours once per week. If you are not work on an article or chapter, then write a long letter to friend about your research. In the previous Prof, sorry. Yeah. Developing a writing habit, it is important because writing is a hard work that become easier the more it is done. So writing is like physical fitness. Writing is a means of thinking. So start writing after you prepare an outline. Often the ideas develop as you go along. But don't wait until you have ideas perfect and constant scrutiny, because seek to improve your writing, go over previous writing, correcting and modifying it. Read good writers, read good writer to pick up ideas for good style and presentation. Okay, next, Prof. Sorry. There are strategies for publishing thesis work or dissertation. The first is write the thesis first and then write article based on parts of it. This is a major advantage of finishing the thesis quickly, but the major disadvantage of possible burnout of the topic and failure to complete the planned articles. The second choice is write articles as the research process and base the thesis on rewriting first version of the articles. This is my slow completion of thesis, but leads to a better publication record on completion. It has the added advantage of gaining feedback from referees and readers on the articles and of showing your examiners that the thesis work has already been worthy of publication. Next, Prof. Okay. The next step is choosing a journal. We must knowing the topic. So investigate possible post journals by browsing in various libraries and consulting people in the field. And the second is choose a journal for first submission and also make a list of 2 or 3 other journals for submission if rejected by the first one. Uh, Often it is better to start with the most prestigious journal for which your paper has a reasonable chance of being accepted, including the format. So the third is closely study your chosen journal. It is about formal requirements, the typical length of articles, the style, the number and type of reference, and the theoretical orientation. Model of paper to fit the standard pattern are closely as possible compatible with your own style and commitment. Keep in mind, the authors of published articles in the journal are often chosen as referees for later submission in the same area. Next, Prof. Sorry. If you're sending off your paper, first after you polish your draft well, give it several friends, colleagues, or some other people in the field and ask for honest comments. If you know of the key figures in the area, send them copies and ask for comments, even if you don't know them personally and even if they are overseas. Gradually, you will find a few couple who are able and willing to give your useful comments. Cultivate them and also offer to return the favor. The second is on the basis of comments received within a month or two, revise your paper, but only if you agree with comments. Sorry. Uh, Put acknowledgement in the paper to all those give substantive comments. The third is proofread your paper once more and send it off the journal and don't wait for the journal to respond. Yeah, if you can make a next paper. And the next, Prof. Sorry. How if the editor respond if your paper has been immediately with minor modification? It is so you can make a celebration. But if more likely major revision are requested, we must get to work. Don't put off by critical comments. This is a part of the course because look carefully at its comment by the referees. If it is valid, make appropriate change. Sometimes this involves considerable extra work, such as reading additional material. If you think the referee has misunderstood what you are trying to say, or if you think the referee has misunderstood what you are trying to, then figure out how to explain your point better. If you think the referee is plain wrong, don't make a change. Okay, next, Prof. There are elements for success. The first is setting clear goals because it is one most critical element for publishing article faster. Before begin writing the article, it is essential to define its purpose and objectives. By doing so, you can stay focused and avoid wasting time on irrelevant tasks. To ensure you set achievable goals, use the SMART methods: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound to help stay on the track and efficiently achieve your desired outcomes. The second is conducting thorough research. Before writing the article, we need to ensure that have gathered all the necessary information and data to support the arguments. Thorough research involve using various resources such as academic journal, books, and online database to organize the research material into smaller, manageable section. This process will not only speed up the writing process, but also to ensure the accuracy of our work. The third is outlining the article. Outline the article involves organizing the article, the thoughts and ideas into a logical structure that make it easier to write. The outline should include introduction, body, and conclusion, as well as any supplementing or bullet points that you plan to include the article. By creating a comprehensive outline, we can ensure that the article is well structured, easy to follow, and meets the requirement of your target audience. The fourth is using help tools and software. There are many various tools and software available to writers to help them with research, writing, editing, and proofreading. For example, is grammar checkers, citation generators, and plagiarism detectors that can save your time and improve the quality of the work. And additionally, using writing software that include in outlining, drafting, and editing features can help streamline the writing process and help you publish your article faster. The fifth is writing efficiency. The fifth element is writing efficiently. We should focus on producing quality content while avoiding an unnecessary repetition, wordiness, and tangents. It can be helpful to set a specific time limit for each writing session and use techniques like free writing or brainstorming to get the ideas flowing. By writing efficiently, we can produce high quality work in less time and avoid procrastination. Then editing and proofreading effectively. We should carefully review work for any errors or inconsistencies. So it can be helpful to take a break from the work before reviewing it to ensure that the approach is with fresh eyes. Additionally, using tools like spell checkers, grammar checkers, and proofreading software that can help identify and correct errors quickly and efficiently. Then lastly is submitting to the right platforms. We must ensure that it reaches your target audience. That involves identifying appropriate platforms for publishing our work, such as academic journals, blog, or social media platform. Additionally, we need to ensure that meet the submission guidelines for each platform and submit the work in appropriate format. Next, Prof. There are many to find journals. We choose three of them. Is Google Scholar, Publish or Perish, and Open Knowledge Maps. With Google Scholar, allow to see article related to the one that might interest. How many times an article has been cited and by whom. and provides citation for articles in a number of styles. One of the main advantages of Google Scholar is that it is accessible to anyone with an internet connection, and it covers a wide range of scholarly publication, including books, articles, thesis, dissertation, conference paper, and more. The second is publish or perish. It is a software that retrieves and analyzes academic citation. It uses a variety of data sources to obtain the raw citation, then analyzes this and presents a range of citation metric, including the number of papers, total citation, and its index. The publish or perish system holds academic accountable to the public, ensure the academics meet their goals, and do research that will contribute to their field of study. And lastly is open knowledge maps. It is the world's visual search engine for scientific knowledge. We dramatically increase the visibility of research finding for research and society alike. This is a charity. There is three website that we found many journal and many article that is that must we if have some clue or some keywords or some some clue or keyword, we can many articles that related for the keywords. Next, Prof. Sorry. If you need a supporting device, we can Grammarly for better grammar, and Turnitin for better. We have not too much similarity on the paper. Turnitin is originally checking and plagiarism prevention service that check that our writing for station mistakes or interpreted copying. So in our experience, it's so efficient that that only some minutes we can check our plagiarism score, and we can make some revise by it based on it. Okay. Nah, it is if we found the appropriate journal like Proflay before Proflay Unfa, we can use Clarified or Web of Science, Scopus, and Journal Finder by Elsevier. It is I think Proflay just discussed before it the first. Next, Prof. Okay. I have if the student need some cover letter or respond to editor, I just send this link. Maybe it is useful for our student. Next, Prof. Okay, thank you for Prof. Kam, and I hope this presentation not too much, but I hope useful for all. I mean, thank you, Prof.
Okay. Okay. So thank you very much, Dr. Subu, let me go to this frame. This frame is saying that what?
Oh yeah,
Document.
I forgot something. I just review some article that qualitative, Prof.
Mm.
Scopus Q1.
Mm.
like your scope your subject. Uh, I think it's qualitative research is uh, potential to publish on Scopus, and because I have some time the review sometime just reviewed some article Scopus like Eurasia, Turkey science education, teaching and teacher and teaching education. It is a prestigious journal. So if you apa if you interest, maybe we can collaborate, Prof.
Yeah, yeah, Rob. Thank you so much. I am touching some sentence that you shared with us this afternoon. You're saying that writing is like a physical fitness.
Yeah, because must train.
Yeah, must be trained because I observed that Dr. Subu done a lot of writing. Dr. Jude and Dr. Subu done a lot of writing. He can serve all the tooling to all the teamwork. You think that from his sharing this afternoon, Dr. Subu sharing a lot of tooling to us, even about the grammar. That is the 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 the, the bitter point of the Thai student or Thai scholar and Indonesian scholar, right?
Yeah,
About the English grammar and then kind of anything. So after this, I think that I have do more physical fitness in writing, as we mentioned.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you use a Grammarly official, it's the revise is maybe 100%, Prof.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
your student, our student can be improve their grammar.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I think that I since Dr. Subu is open the gate for the qualitative, also that there is a way, there is a open gate for the qualitative work that is qualified enough. So let us follow you, nah?
Yeah,
You can guide us. Yeah. Okay.
Amin. Yeah,
Yeah.
inshallah.
Okay, so Dr. Jude, what would your idea about this topic, please?
Yeah, hello.
Hello,
Hi.
Prof.
Yeah, so Professor Bu, I think it was a very good presentation, um, because many junior faculty or researcher, they are afraid to write because they think that the research has to be perfect in
Yeah,
their mind before they start writing. But you gave a very good advice, that even though it's not yet perfect in your mind, you have to start writing it,
yeah,
and it can get perfected along the way in the process. So really showing that research is really a process. It's not an output that's immediately there. Okay. But I want to ask a few questions, especially pertaining to the review process. Once faculty submits a paper for review in a journal,
yeah,
my questions about that. So first is, some faculty tell me that sometimes they have bad luck when they get their paper reviewed, because sometimes they say that the reviewer is very strict. And
Mm,
they found that sometimes the reviewer is very strict and even use bad words when they review their particular journal, their particular article. But sometimes they get a reviewer who is very kind, who gives
yeah.
many guidelines and all of that. So I would like to ask you about, the selection process of reviewer. What are your observations about this and how you can become lucky to get reviewers who are more, helpful?
Oh, okay. In my opinion, Prof. Jude and Prof. Kam, uh, I become a reviewer because I just publish in this journal, Eurasia, Teaching and Teacher Education, Turkey, Science Education, and I just try to understand how to uh, the reviewer make a judge or make a opinion, uh, uh, and maybe I can give some apa ya, some suggestion from the reviewer to how to make the the revision. But in my experience, the first reviewers is maybe like your said is bad, yeah, major revision, and uh, uh, or rejected, yeah. But uh, if we go uh, we 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 just revise as best as we can. They also respect. So, and in my opinion, in the first reviewers and the second reviewers is maybe better in the second reviewers. So I think it's not just deterrent or just uh, apa ya, kecewa ya, not just confused if we receive uh, bad news from a review. I think it is better. We must check the comments and make revise and improve as soon as possible. It is my experience, Prof.
Yeah.
Not just Scopus 3. It is my first experience just first Q1, Scopus Q1. It is my experience is just don't give up, yeah. But we my student must uh, must revise as best as we can. It is my opinion. Sorry, Prof.
Yeah. Okay. My I have two more questions. The first one is, there are some journals who will ask the writer if they can suggest somebody to review the work.
Hmm.
So, do you think this is an ethical practice of a journal to ask the author who you would like to review the work? So, what is your thinking about that one?
uh, Apa ya? In my experience is if uh, sorry, Prof. Maybe you can repeat your question. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. My question is, sometimes when you submit a manuscript to a journal, they ask the question, who would you suggest to review your work?
Yeah, yeah.
So do you think this is an ethical practice? You know, because then you select who will review you.
uh, it is ethic, Prof, but it is better because maybe we know the reputation of the reviewer, and in the max experience, it is just a better way to have a suggestion, because they also make the best advice to how to uh, our 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 article that can be better. This is no problem, bro.
Okay. Also about the, you know, what because sometimes faculty are invited to review manuscripts, and then the faculty asked me, what is the benefit to be a reviewer of journal manuscript, because the university does not acknowledge or recognize this kind of work done by a faculty. So, what can we do about it to encourage more faculty to do review?
Oh, yeah. Uh, in our university, the reviewer, it is uh, it is maybe in the past accreditation in my institution, at least 1 weeks, yeah. The recognize about we become the review. It's a high score.
Oh, high score.
Yeah, in a journal, not just if the keynote, if the uh, speaker or presenter, it's not the score, not just score, but reviewer, it is must. It is very high, very valuable value. So it is maybe if uh, that any change for to be reviewer, even in Scopus, it is must we get, because it is a opportunity to some our ourselves and our institution. It is my experience, bro. Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's very good question from Dr. Jude, Uh, oh, like me, So sometimes so many journal request me to be the reviewers, but I cannot get it. It's really take time, right, Dr. Jude?
Yeah.
It's really take time, and my university never recognized that. But
Oh,
but myself, my personal idea, I love to be a reviewer because we can access new knowledge sometime,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But compared to the time consumption, I think that is very, very difficult to do that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that we might put the microphone to Dr. Sahil. Do you have any reflection on this before we go to Dr. Jude? Okay.
Okay, thank you, Associate Prof. Kam. Hi, Prof. Subo.
Halo, Prof. Zahir.
Hi. Okay, Prof. Subo, I have one question I would like to ask you. In
Yeah.
your opinion, because nowadays we are talking about AI in research, okay, using AI tools. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
in your opinion, to what extent researchers should use the AI tool to produce the manuscript for publication?
Uh, uh, in my opinion, the artificial intelligence like GPT, yeah, it is
Yeah.
Yeah.
uh, in my opinion, it make student make for uh, straightforward ya, jalan pintas ya. It is
Yeah.
in my opinion it's not too good, Prof.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But it is just not make a student can be writing, but they only uh, 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 yeah, not writing, but just make
Mm,
the easily work to make uh, uh, an article or paper. Maybe it
yeah.
is not too good for me.
Mm, mm.
It is
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. Because I'm raising this issue because some student they said since the tools are there, why shouldn't they use it? This is the
Yeah,
question raised by those student. But maybe they can use the tools, AI tools, to get the idea, but not to produce 100% paper based on
yeah,
AI.
yeah,
Correct. But to get the
yeah.
idea, to give
I
some
agree.
idea, I think that one should be okay lah.
Okay, yeah,
Okay. 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 All right.
but
Okay.
that
Associate
is the
Proka. Yeah.
first. But
Yeah.
it was it is maybe it's the first option, but we must some extent from uh,
Yeah.
uh, our student to make writing better.
Yeah.
It
Correct.
is
Correct. Agree.
Yeah.
Agree. Okay. Associate Prof. Kam. That's it from
Yep.
me.
Yep. Yep. You reflecting very trendy issue, huh? Pop Sahil. Many of my
Yeah.
students use it now, you know. The
Yeah.
first step, they use it to seek any trendy issue or any trendy title.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
second, they let it draft it up for them.
Correct. Correct. I think to get an idea or to generate idea by using AI as an
Yeah.
assistant, I think should be okay. But to rely on AI 100% to produce a paper, I think that is not right lah. Eh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
We
Thank you.
If you have article about AI, maybe you can. I have a journal that
Oh, okay.
publish quickly, Prof. If you have, maybe I can give information.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
great.
Okay. Thank you.
Dr. Sahir,
Yeah.
Dr. Subu he is acting as a reviewers in many articles, so he might can
Okay.
suggest if any article could be put in somewhere, some place, kind of that.
Okay.
So
Okay.
better you know each other, right?
Sure, sure, sure.
Okay.
We will
Yeah.
keep in touch after this. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Prof.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Okay.
Prof.
Sure.
Tahir.
Yeah.
Sure. Thank you,
Okay.
inshallah. Right.
Yeah. So like okay, thank you so much, Dr. Sabu. So this is the last and premium wrap up and sharing from our Pro Vice Chancellor of the University of the Liberal Arts Bangladesh. Dr. Chud used to be many outstanding research in many fields, but his background is in communication. So welcome, Dr. Chud, share with us. Thank you.
Oh, so I'm down to my
Yeah,
presentation.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so I will now share my presentation.
Yeah.
Okay. And this.
Yeah.
Okay. So Okay, so good afternoon to everybody. Of course, Professor Subbu, Professor Zahir, Associate Professor
Lê,
Kamora,
the Lê.
and
Okay.
Dr. Lei also. Okay, so I'll give my 2 cents worth regarding the topic. I will talk about first as uh, what I think the essentials of being able to contribute internationally is first to come down to the individual researcher. And that's why, like, I would talk about you have to know yourself first. And then, second is co creation as a strategy in building your publication portfolio. And third one is utilizing the power of AI. And I know that Professor Zagbo and Professor Zahir, you talked about this a while ago. Yes, it is a very hot topic now in doing research, but that's why I would like to discuss about it. Okay. So the first question really I uh, want to ask, is why is it important to do a reflexive approach to research? Why should we be reflecting a lot before we do research? Okay. And the answer is simple because research is really a human enterprise. Research is done by the human being. And therefore, before anything else, we have to understand who is a human being or you as a researcher, you as a human being. What are your interests? Who are you? What's your identity? Because the research is really the relationship between the researcher and the topic or field of study. Okay? So the topic that you're writing about cannot be separated from who you are as a person. And your cultural practices would have a heavy influence in any research that you will do. And that's why whenever you choose a topic, you don't choose a topic that was given to you by somebody else, like a teacher telling you what to study. There are many instances wherein students do their thesis and then they think first, what will my teacher approve? Or what will my teacher like as a topic? And therefore, they select topics that they do not like, but they think that their faculty will like. And therefore, because they do not like it, in the end, they do not do it. They do not finish it. I had this example of before going to Bangladesh, I was in Indonesia. I was there for 3 years in LSPR Business and Communication Institute, and I was the director of their graduate program. And one student always came to me and said, "Sir, I would like to do a topic about forest management." And participatory forest management. And I know this student for a while, and I asked, "Are you really sure you want to do forest management?" And she said, "Yes, I want to do this topic." Then I asked her, uh, "Have you ever been to the forest? Do you love trekking? And when did you last visit a forest?" And then she told me, "Sir, I've never been to a forest at all. In fact, I hate being in a forest. I'm afraid of animals. I'm afraid of insects. I don't want to see them." Then I said, "Then why are you wanting to do a study about the forest?" Then she told me, "Because my mother told me that if I choose this topic, you will like it and you will approve it." Then I told the student, "Yes, your mother is right because she knows what I like to study. And therefore, if you submit a topic like forest management and how people together manage it, then it's a topic that I would like. But this topic is not you and does not reflect who you are. And therefore, I don't think this is your topic." Okay? Sometimes students choose a topic because it will benefit somebody. And I had this experience, back in the Philippines. I had a student who told me, "Sir, I would like to do a study about this particular consumer product." Okay. Then I asked her, "Why do you want to do this product?" Then she says to me, "Because this is a product that is being sold by my boyfriend. And since we will get married, then I want to help him in promoting this product. And therefore, I want to do a marketing strategy and marketing communication strategy about this particular product." Then I asked the student, "Okay, I'm not saying this will happen, but what if you and your boyfriend break up? Will you still do this study?" And then she looked at me straight in the eye and she said, "Sir, that will never happen." Then I did not see that student for a year. And after a year, by chance, I saw the student in the mall. And I approached her and asked, "Why are you not going to school anymore? What happened to your thesis topic?" And then she told me, "Sir, what you told me about us breaking up, it happened. I don't want to do the study anymore, and that's why I'm not showing up." So don't do a study that benefits somebody else. You have to think about yourself first, if the topic's appropriate to you. And don't feel that, that you do a topic just to be acceptable by others. Rather, uh, reflect. What are you passionate about? What Why does the topic reflect who you are as a person? And will the topic be useful to you and your career, or to a particular cause that you feel strongly about? So focus on topics like that, and it's self-reflection first and foremost, to be able to do the topic. If we take a look at the research process, it has 5 steps. The most important step is conceptualization, because this is really where you think about what your topic will be all about, and just don't reflect on the surface. You have to reflect deeply, because you have to find out, why does this topic reflect who you are, your culture, your identity, because that is what would motivate you to finishing the study. Selecting a topic because it's the trend, usually, might work. You might be able to do it, but it would not be very deep, because it is not part of you. Now, I want to show examples. In the field of communication, we have theorists like Shannon and Weaver, Stella Tommy, Irvin Goffman. And for students in communication and media, they really salute these people and make them icons, because they were able to determine what the big theories that we're using now. But if we look at the beginning, they actually did these theories because it reflected who they are. So, for example, when we talk about the Shannon and Weaver mathematical model of communication, it will talk about, there's an information source, which information source is like a person who has a message, uses a transmitter, which may be a telephone or cell phone, which transmits signals, and then these signals are received by another phone, and the message then reaches the destination or the other person. Okay? In the midst of it all, communication can be hampered because of the noise, and that's why they're static. But this theory became very popular, and it's now a basic theory taught in all communication schools. Now, the idea here is, people now like look at Claude Shannon and Warren Weaver as, uh, special people who were able to think about it. But in reality, we look at the background and they're actually engineers. And they're engineers of Bell Telephone Company. And being engineers, it is their job to make sure that the transmission of signals will be as smooth as possible, would be as audible as possible, because that's the only way Bell Telephone Company can make money. Depends on the smoothness or audibility of the transmission. So they did this because it was part of job. But now when we take a look at it, we say, okay, they're like superhuman beings who were able to think of something. But they did this, they solved the problem, and it was a reflection of who they are. The next one's about Stella Tommy, who created or constructed the face negotiation theory. And if you take a look at her face, Stella Tommy, you would see that she's of an Asian descent, more of an East Asian descent. And when she came up with the face negotiation theory, she was talking about how do people negotiate. And she's saying that culture has a lot to do with how we strategize in our negotiation. So she's saying if you're Asian, usually you would, and there is a conflict, you would usually use avoidance as a strategy because Asians don't want really to be confrontational. Also, Asians, is very yielding in terms of a conflict, like they give in. Like in Thailand, I stayed here for a year. And I always hear the phrase, "Mai pen rai." Okay, it's okay. Well, because that is part of the strategy on how we negotiate conflict. Uh, somebody did bad to you, and then you just say, "My penrai, it's okay, it's okay." So it's like a yielding type of a communication strategy that's happening, and it's very Asian. And Stella Tintomi was able to pinpoint that because she's Asian, that's her culture, and that's why she can analyze different communication negotiation strategies. Okay, and because she lived in the United States, she was able to observe how Western people negotiate. So sometimes in the US, she notices that many people are confrontational, they don't yield, or they do compromises. So she says, okay, the Western people have a different type of negotiation style versus the Asian people. And she came up with a theory. So again, it is a reflection of who she is as a person, her identity, her research interests, and therefore she came up with theory. The other person here is Irving Goffman. And Irving Goffman is a professor in a university, but he loves to pretend. So many times he will be in the university and he would be dressing up in beggar's costume, and then he will be pretending to beg on the street in the near the university, and he would like to observe how people will react to him that he is begging. And he came up with this theory, the presentation of self in everyday life, or dramatism. And talking about the world is just a stage, and we are all actors in this stage, and therefore we just fulfill the role we're supposed to fulfill. So he says that we play multiple roles every day. When we're at home, we may be father or mother or daughter or son, depending who you are, or if you're married, then your spouse. We go out of the house. If we drive a car, then our role shifts to motorist or pedestrian if you're crossing the street, or commuter if you're riding the BTS. And then you have to behave accordingly based on that road. So if you're a pedestrian, you walk when the sign says you have to walk. Uh, Being a commuter, you have to pay properly to the BTS. And then when you go to your destination, a worker or in school, then if you're a student, then you have to behave as a student. So it means you behave based on the role that you have now. And Irving Goffman was able to encapsulate that theory because of his personality of wanting to be acting in different situations. And therefore, the theory again reflects who he is as a researcher and as a scholar. And therefore, these are the things that we have to bear in mind when we do our research. Now, this was my dissertation topic: local knowledge and practice systems in rice farming villages in central Luzon. And it is a topic I selected because it reflects really my identity as a human being. First, I am from central Luzon, from the Philippines. Second is I grew up in a household that was into rice farming. Okay, so my grandmother, uh, she was really into rice farming and then later sugarcane farming. And I remember very well because of her intense interest in rice, she always keeps different rice varieties in the house. And every dinner, she would be announcing what was the rice variety that we will be eating that night. And then and it's quite exciting for us to know what rice variety we're supposed to eat. Because different rice variety really has a different flavor to it. That's why, many of my friends found me weird because they would think that I would be, that normally people will be excited about the dish, whether it's chicken, fish, or beef. But me, I'm more excited about what the rice would we would be eating. Uh, and that's why when I was here in Thailand doing my fellowship in Kasetsart University, and being able to taste the jasmine rice, that was a big thrill for me because yeah. And I also joined rice tasting competitions in the Ministry of Agriculture here in Thailand because they have these competitions. Okay. So again, like I'm saying, the topic was selected by me because it reflects who I am as a person, my personality, my interest, my upbringing, and of course, because I am into the communication discipline and I'm interested about rice production and how communication can improve rice production and its productivity, then I had to look at local knowledge and practice systems. And that's the reason now I chose this topic, which is really a reflection of the research. Okay. So why a reflective approach to research? Well, the individual, the human being, is the starting point of the research process. And if we take a look at the socio-ecological model, you would see that at the very core is the individual, the knowledge, attitude, and skills of the individual researcher, and therefore the researcher should be reflective enough to know his attitude or her attitude, skills, upbringing, and so forth and so on. Now, after the individual, however, is part of a bigger system, which we call now the interpersonal system, which includes family, friends, and social network. But in what we're talking about now, I'll now talk about the research statement. Now, if you know who you are as a researcher, what your identity is, the next step really is to do a research statement. Okay, and what is actually a research statement? Well, it's basically a document that summarizes your research interests, accomplishments, current research, and future research plans. Okay, so it's a document. It outlines, how your work will contribute to the academic field. It allows the faculty to present the importance and impact of her or his past and current research to colleagues. So the document is there actually to present it to your social networks and your colleagues, because they have to know who you are and what is your potential contribution to that field. So then they know. The purpose of the research statement is to allow your superior or your colleague or potential partners to envision your research evolution, productivity, and potential contributions over the coming years. It must promisingly convey the benefits you bring to the table. In other words, when they partner with you or they hire you in the department or the unit, they take they try to assess what can you bring to the table. Can you bring grant money? Can you bring more collaborations into the table? Would you be able to mentor and get students involved in your research? Or do you do research that are very applicable to education or teaching, such as developing new courses? So that statement will help colleagues or your social network assess what you can bring. Okay? So therefore, when you have a research statement, the components would include your academic specialty and interests, your ability to work as a professional scholar, what are your long-term and short-term research goals, what significant recognition you have received in the past, such as your publications, presentations, grants, awards, and your ideas about potential funding sources or collaborative partners. So these people will see when you write your research statement. Uh, yeah, what I would like, you do this at your own time, because I believe that there will be faculty who will be watching this video. So you take 10 minutes to write your research statement, because that will be very, very useful, because this is also how you are presenting yourself to other people. Okay? Because remember, you're part only of a social network, you're an individual, but then there's a bigger network surrounding you in terms of research. So, some tips in writing a good research statement. First, you make your research statement reader friendly. Ensure to present your focus on research. Tailor your research statement, write for each audience, and be yourself. Okay. And there is, if you want further readings, there is this YouTube video. This is a faculty member who would be explaining how he got the faculty position because of his research statement. Okay, so that would be interesting, and you can watch that in your own time. Okay. Now that following again the ecological model, okay, now that we have the individual who has reflected, now that you presented yourself to your colleagues and social networks, the next step is looking at the organization, okay, the university that you work for. And a lot of it has to do with university policy. Okay. Um, okay. So what is the university research policy? Because you belong to the university, and therefore, whatever policies they have would affect you as a researcher. Are they more into interdisciplinary research? Because if the university officials encourage interdisciplinary research, then what uh, yeah, Professor Zahir talked about teamwork, talked about learning from your colleagues who belong to different perspectives. Then this is supported by university policy because they encourage interdisciplinary research. And therefore, you can do a lot of teamwork with people from other departments, from other disciplines. But if your university wants doesn't want interdisciplinary research and only wants you to be in your own silos, in your own area, then you cannot really do a team with many disciplines. You can only do a team confined within your department. Is your university research policy more internationalized? That is another question. Because if your university is internationalizing, is internationalizing and looks at the importance of uh, then maybe Thai faculty collaborating with Malaysian faculty or Indonesian faculty, then this is supported by the university. They would like you to do international collaborations, you to go international conferences, and so forth and so on. So that is good because you are able to get the support of your university. But there are universities that only look at the national level. They don't care about internationalizing. They give more points to local researchers, not doesn't have to be written in English, only in the local language, then that is enough. And therefore, you are forced to abandon the internationalization of research and just go local. Next is about integrative. When we talk about integrative research, we're trying to fuse the different types of fields and create new challenging fields. So, for example, what are the trends now? Sometimes we mix fields together and then create a new field. Like, for example, biomedical engineering. So it is a mixture of engineering and biology. Okay, so integrating two fields together comes out with a new one. So is the university very pioneering in trying to integrate different fields together? Then it would support people or researchers who do that. But if the university is stuck on traditional disciplines, traditional boundaries, then it is hard to come up with integrative research. Okay, so you have to see what is the university research policy. Next is, in our university, every faculty has to come up with this. At the end of the year, they have to write down what were the seminars, workshop, conferences attended. Were there a resource person in forum or workshop? They have to list that down. Did they do conference paper presentations? Did they do conference sessions, chairing? Did they review papers? Did they receive research fund? Did they publish in peer-reviewed journals? Did they publish in non-peer-reviewed journals? What were the conference proceedings? And if they wrote book chapters or did they write books? So we have to write all of these because these are all collected by the human resource department. And then the report has an impact on your salary increment, on your promotion or special appointments. And if you did not do good, you will be terminated. What was nice with the discussion earlier today is that, the other professors discussed what was expected in their university, how much research you have to do, so forth and so on. And therefore, we are really affected by university policy, and that's important. So, in your own time, as you watch this video, you have to reflect and try to answer the questions. What are the research policies in STOU? You have to know so that you would know if you will be supported in your research interest or not, or how to get that support. What are the strengths and weaknesses of our university's research policies? And what can be done to improve the said research policies? So you have to look into all these because, as mentioned, you are part of the organizational setup which you are in and it affects you. So you're an individual, part of an interpersonal group, part of an organization, but that organization is part of a community. And that's why we'll now move towards research, co-creation, and collaboration. Okay. Um, Ramon Tuazon is the Secretary General of the Asia Media Information and Communication Center. And I would like to quote him a bit. because he said something very interesting. He said that networking is not an option or a choice. Networking is the only way to grow and survive in today's competitive world. Okay, so it's not a choice anymore to network. Okay, as educators, we are drivers of knowledge society, a sharing and caring society. Okay. So, what is a knowledge society? Well, he says a society in which the creation, dissemination, and utilization of information and knowledge has become the most important factor of production. Knowledge assets, also called intellectual capital, are the most powerful producer of wealth. So now, according to him, information and knowledge, they are power. They're the ones that will drive progress in the world. And we, being educators and possessing knowledge, have the advantage in that. Okay, uh, knowledge creation. That's why he would be saying countries that are rich are actually countries where its people are more knowledgeable. Okay, so he would be saying something like that. Okay, and because of this, a new academic culture has risen. And the academic culture that's rising now is one that's caring, cooperating, and networking, and one that fits with the sharing and knowledge society. Okay. Educators will work now as members of learning teams, which may be diverse, and they can be consisting of new teachers, experienced teachers, subject matter experts, and students. And that's why the talk today of Professor Professor Zahir was very important because he talked about teamwork and the importance of teamwork in generating research. And it is because this is the culture that we should have now, wherein we have educators working together to produce research, to produce knowledge. In the past, when we talk about faculty or researchers producing knowledge, we always imagine them to be lone wolves, like they are alone, thinking about their research, etc., etc. Okay, but nowadays it's more about collaborating with each other. Okay, it is very difficult now to do a research by yourself. You always need a collaborator. And that's what. And Ramon is also saying that even when we look at teacher or faculty development in universities, it's no longer one university having a faculty development program. Sometimes universities share resources to be able to train their faculty. So schools have been transforming into learning hubs and they become part of a network learning ecology wherein teachers try to learn from each other. Okay, and that's why with this kind of a um, situation, we now see a lot of open educational resources, which we call the Creative Commons, wherein teachers share textbooks, video courses, modules, tests, techniques, materials, and tools that we use for teaching and learning and research. Okay? We see that education is about sharing. It's about redistributing, retaining, reuse, revise, remix. Open educational resources transforms access, affordability. And that's why I'm glad that one of our speakers today also talked about open access journals, because this is also part of the trend, wherein if a person or a teacher wants to contribute, then you contribute to open access journals. Okay. So the digital commons are a form of commons involving the distribution and communal ownership of informational resources and technology. And that's why when we uh, share something, um, it is something that is common to everybody. Uh, So this would include open data, open source software, and digital commons. So these are examples of shared virtual goods. Another example that we know very well are the massive open online courses, or the MOOCs. We also know that faculty, teachers share in social media. Teachers share ideas, thoughts, experiences, strategies, and resources via Twitter and Facebook. In the past, teachers are afraid of sharing their ideas because they fear that their ideas will be stolen. But nowadays, it's like, yes, your ideas are not really stolen because other people will add to your idea. And therefore, your idea becomes better, your idea improves. Um, okay. Some faculty, they upload the latest information and research in online communities such as academia.edu. Okay. And these educators, they understand the importance and responsibility for the sharing economy to prepare the education sector forward. When one faculty puts his work out there, others can improve on it, resulting in a better product for all. So for example, you have this testing material, you put it out there in the internet, other faculty see it, then they will comment, revise it, modify it, post it also online. Then you have a better work because these are being contributed by different people from different perspectives, from different disciplines, and therefore it's a better product for everybody. So Ramon Tuazon argues that the sharing society levels the playing field so that all can be knowledge creators, contributors, and generators. Everyone contributes to the co-creation of value. Scholars all over the world have joined academic networks for professional development. Uh, And these are some examples here in the field of communication. So therefore, basically four types of academic networks that have been developed so far. One is the global network. An example here is the International Communication Association, which is a global network, and IAMCR, the International Association for Media and Communication Research. Okay, so they want to develop communication scholarship, and it's a global network. You can join these networks to improve your skill, but also to network and collaborate with other scholars. So, in a way, through this, you are able to produce research work with other scholars in different parts of the world. Another type of network is the regional network, which is represented here by AMIC, the Asian where Ramon Tuason belongs to. Because AMIC is more for Asia, so it's a more regional network. The third type is the field-specific network, which is represented here by the Global Alliance, because this is a network specific to public relations and communication management. And therefore, you know that if you belong to this network, that is your interest, public relations and communication management. And then another network are the national or local networks that we have in our specific countries. So in this manner, we're able to collaborate and co-create with other scholars through these networks or these organizations. Okay? So academic networks encourage cross-discipline paradigms, interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary, transdisciplinary, and today's issues and challenges are too enormous and complex to be addressed by a single isolated discipline. In this sense, by having several sections, divisions, working groups, interest groups, disciplinal theories, models, and approaches are enriched, thus improving their heuristic value. Okay. And that's why it is really important. The lecture a while ago by Professor Zahir about the importance of teamwork. Uh, and the Dr. Lay's lecture was also very important because he talked about the ecology of research publishing. Because you are part of this system wherein you have to contribute uh, to journals, and therefore you have to know what are the impact factors, what is your impact as a researcher, um, what is your citation index, what is your H index, your I index. So these are really important because this gives an indicator to people of what you can bring to the table. Also, Dr. Professor Subu's lecture was also very important because you have to know the steps on how you're able to publish in a journal, because this is also part of this ecosystem that we belong to. Okay. There is a video that you can watch in your own time here. Uh, the Art and Science of Co-Creation by Osama Malik. And it is interesting because what his point is, if you do it only by yourself, okay, it can be good. But if you produce something with another person, then it will be even better than one. So he, like giving the example, like the Beatles, Paul McCartney and John Lennon, they are the ones who composed the music and the in the lyrics. And once when they were Beatles, it's like when they collaborate with each other, the music is a lot better than when they separated and John Lennon made his own music, Paul McCartney made his own music. It's like there is something missing. So that's what he's talking about. Why it's better to co-create rather than go on solo. Okay. So looking at this, so reflective approach for the individual, research statement to be able to connect with your social network, having to understand what is your university policy because you belong to an organization, having to know how to co-create and collaborate in your community because you're part of a community, um, knowing how to publish, what journals to do, important tips by Professor Subbu, the importance of teamwork, uh, important lecture by Professor Zahir, also understanding impact journals, citation indices, and a lot of it's about community, okay? Research collaboration and co-creation. So now let's go to the last circle, outer circle of them all. We are all affected by developments in technology, and this is the rise of artificial intelligence, which is part of the discussion that we were having in the question and answer of Professor Sugbo. Okay, so we know what AI is. It's an area of computer science, creation of intelligent machines that work and react like humans. Okay, so they can do speech recognition, learning, planning, and problem solving. Okay, so I think this was a question being raised towards the end of Professor Subu's lecture. It's like, do you think that artificial intelligence is heaven sent for researchers, or is it the opposite? Is it like something bad for researchers? So, you know, this is a big debate that is happening right now in the research community. What is AI? Will it be good? Will it be bad for us? Okay. So there is this professor named Sarah Elaine Eaton. Okay, and these are her ideas about artificial intelligence and academic integrity. Okay, so let's look at her bullet points. Okay, so she said, using AI for schoolwork does not automatically equate to misconduct. So do you agree or disagree? Okay, so that's something you can debate between you and your colleague or within yourself. Okay, you think about artificial intelligence can be used ethically for teaching, learning, and assessment. So it can be used ethically, according to Dr. Sarah. Trying to ban the use of artificial intelligence in school is not only futile, it is irresponsible. Do you agree with her? Should we ban AI in school? For her, we should not ban it because we cannot ban it anyway. The next is, she says, human imagination and creativity are not threatened by AI. Okay? Human imagination and creativity, okay, we should not fear that this will be threatened by AI. Next, assessments must be fit for purpose and should align with learning outcomes. Okay, because people fear that with the use of AI, students can cheat and therefore assessments are worthless. But according to Dr. Sarah, AI has nothing to do with it. Assessments must be fit with the purpose and should align with learning outcomes. So when we do our course outlines, syllabus, we always put learning outcomes and then we assess whether these learning outcomes have been achieved or not. And therefore, where's the space of AI there? AI is not going anywhere. We must learn to work with new technology and not against it. So these are the things that Dr. Sarah is saying. You debate among yourselves whether you agree with it or not. Okay, okay, next. We can use AI in building our publication portfolio. Okay, so these are some AI trends in research. We now have automated labs, knowledge graphs, and relationship maps. AI can do this. Machine generated hypothesis experiments. AI can do identifiers for research landscape. And I think this was mentioned by Professor Subbu. He gave us some links about looking at research landscape. AI can predict diseases and drug combinations. Okay, now AI also is there with plagiarism and data fabrication. Uh, so AI can detect plagiarism and data fabrication. AI can be use search engines for published data, and AI can also help in peer review. So a while ago, Professor Subbu was talking about journals and peer review of journals, but what was not mentioned is AI can help. So Dr. Kamal Rat was saying a while ago that she can not find the time to do the review, but what she didn't know is AI can help her do the review. Okay, and she's saying that yeah, the university would not recognize it anyway. But but she said that, but she wants to do it because she learned something by reviewing papers. Okay, but with AI, you will have the time, Dr. Kamura, and you will learn new knowledge using the AI. Okay, these are seems to be like an ecology of AI tools and other systems used in scholarly work. So there are so many AI tools that have been used. First is about literature search and systematic review. So you could see all this, robot search, Iris, Sparrow, source data. Okay, they help you in doing literature review. Okay, so you have that to help you. And that's why students nowadays have an easier time because they have this tool to help them do the literature review. Another area that AI is helping researchers is in writing and editing. And Professor Subu talked about Grammarly, then we have Skynote, Trinka, Author One, Smart Edit, Lightkey, Word AI, Writer. So you now have all these tools to improve your English language use. Uh, and that's why this is very helpful for countries that do not have English as their first language. Thailand, even Bangladesh, um, Indonesia. So this is a very helpful tool. Next is AI can help us in referencing and citations. When we submit papers to a thesis panel or to a journal, they always ask for referencing systems and citations using whatever, Chicago, APA, or what. So there are many things that we can use. Sidewheel, Wisdom AI, Mendeley, Ghost Sites, Connected Papers EndNote, Zotero. Zotero is what we use at the University of Liberal Arts. Okay. Next is journal selection. So Professor Sugbu was telling us you have to know the journal that you're going to submit to. It is very important that you know the journal very well. And he is absolutely right. But AI can help us now select the journal. Okay. Publication recommender. Okay. Find my journal. EndNote 29. GA journal finder. So forth and so on. So, you're not left on your own. AI can help you. Next, plagiarism check. And I think Professor Zahir was concerned about authenticity in research because of AI, but AI can also help you check plagiarism. So I authenticate, copy leaks, plagiarism remover, dupli checker, plug tracker, plagiarism. Yeah, Grammarly can also help check plagiarism. And then we have all this review and workflow. Okay, so this is the one that can help Dr. Kamalrat review publications. Okay, so PubStrat, Area AI, Author One, PubSure Report, StatCheck, Smart Edit, Stat Reviewer, and so forth and so on. So we have all these tools in AI to help us build our portfolio. And here are further readings if you want to know more about how AI can help us. So one is three unbelievable AI technologies to automate your literature review. Andy Stapleton. Uh, Next is Best AI Tools for Researchers 2023 by WhatsApp Communication. So important, it will help. Uh, okay. Now, AI is also being seen more than just helping an individual researcher. It's also looking at how it can help the research community as a whole. So using AI, we can determine sustainability of journals. So first, it can link individual action to the wider sector. Like there is now a SDG meter, which shows whether your paper can help fulfill SDG, the Sustainable Development Goals. So Dr. Kamalrat was talking about, a new program where innovative communication for the SDG. But how do we know that our communication is helping the SDG? Now AI can help us. So you could see, yeah, we use now the SDG meter. AI can help us measure research impact. It can track research impact on the ground and measure it. How that they can measure the impact of your work uh, through metrics. Okay. Next is AI can help us evaluate SDG mainstreaming tools. So feedback forms or scores by users of tools meant to help mainstream the SDGs can be registered and displayed on repository tools. So you have the IPA's SDG dashboard. We now have the SDG publishers, Compact Fellows, top action tips, and then SDG sustainability roadmap. So you now have many tools wherein can measure the SDG, can register your journal to the SDG to see um, and ranking about effectiveness. Okay, basically looking at how research helps fulfill the SDG. What's the impact on that? AI is also helping us have justice in the entire, what do you call this, publication ecosystem. Because there are many complaints indeed that the ecosystem of publication has become very commercialized and has become very exclusive, meaning to say many people cannot participate in it. So first one is building a voluntary contribution transaction system. So there's an AI assisted point transaction system. So for example, if Dr. Kamalrat decides to review journals, so this AI will be tracking all her contributions and make a point transaction system, like saying, okay, Dr. Kamalrat reviewed some papers, she moderated discussion, she mentored some early career researchers, and then they will give her a point system based on that. Many faculty actually do a lot of work, like mentoring scholars, doing what thesis advising. They moderate a lot of discussion, but then these are not being given points. This AI will create a point system so that all the things that the faculty does will be recorded and be given points so that when the university takes a look at it and hopefully adopts the system, then they can say, okay, this faculty has contributed a lot and therefore it gives justice to the faculty because all the efforts are now tabulated and recognized. Okay, using AI assisted review. Okay, when you review a paper, AI can help make a desk rejection, and therefore the AI will primarily. I don't know, this controversial. Professor Subu might be, saying no, 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 right now. But AI can help a desk rejection immediately, even before peer review. Okay, they can assess whether the manuscript fits with the journal's parameters. So by itself, AI can already assist. Okay, and because of this, it can reduce pressure on human reviewers. Okay, so the AI can do that. It can improve access to digital contents by persons with disability. Okay, so we know that there are a lot of people with disability, visual, hearing, mobility, and AI can help reach these sectors. Also, AI can help reduce diverse forms of inequality. AI can facilitate international collaboration through acting as a binding element of global collaboration. AI can identify collaboration opportunities between North and South scholar publishers and their societies. Because nowadays, it's very hard to know who are willing collaborators with us, who believe in our particular research topics or what. And therefore, it takes a lot of time to network and know people who will collaborate with you. But through AI, we'll be able to know instantly who is a potential collaborator or a potential research co-author. Okay, so it can be able to do that. AI can also help us be more resilient, like fighting unethical publishing practices. I think this was mentioned by Professor Dr. Lay at the beginning. He was talking about predatory journals. Okay, so AI supported tool can check if a journal is authentic, integrity, ethically sound, or has publishing integrity. Okay, AI can reduce the chance of publishing articles with fake data. AI can measure journal impact in a rapidly changing publishing world. And AI can respond to ever-transforming governments and funder policies. Okay, because like how do we know that the funding policy has changed or the government policy has changed? So AI can help public policy making and can also help organizations align their actions against new and updated public policies. So AI publishers and society can develop applications to identify the pathways to respond to changes by governments, funders, and multilateral agencies. So this is helpful to us as researchers because we submit projects for funding, and therefore we should be aligned with this. Sometimes we have to do it by ourselves, keep searching websites of different organizations. But if we have the AI tool, it can do it for us. It will make our job a lot easier. Okay, so just to summarize, uh, oh, that was a lot. Using the socio-ecological model, how do we publish internationally? Okay, we have to understand all these levels, individual level, reflect on who you are, your identity, what's your research interest. Select topics that are passionate to you, that you like. Once you're sure who you are and about yourself and what you want to do, then write your research statement so that this can be seen by your social networks so that they would know what you can bring to the table. Why should they collaborate with you? And then because you belong to a university or an organization, you have to know the university policy because you have to live within that. If university policy is not very conducive to things you want, then then you will have a hard time. And therefore you need to rely on the strength of your partner. You have to look for a partner that can do that if your university cannot do it. And then learn the ecology that you're working with, the community. Try to co-create, collaborate with them. Uh, Go to international educational associations, network, go to conferences. Uh, what's important is that you collaborate, and teamwork is very important, and so forth and so on. And then in the last one, we talked about AI, the rise of artificial intelligence, and how AI can be used to build our portfolio as researchers. So I think I'll be ending here. So thank you very much.
Wow. Yeah. Mhm. Any reflection from you both, Dr. Subu, Dr. Sahil? You are both mentioned about.
Okay, I just want to say something about Prof. Jude's presentation just now. It's a very, very good presentation. Like it covers everything that we been discussed today. Okay, first I would like to give my view about the communication. Communication. I think communication is one of the important element in research, especially when you work as a team. Especially when you work as a team. You see, uh, based on my experience, um, many research team they have problem in their research work is because of lack of communication, effective communication. This is the problem, So I can notice the problem will start to pop up when the team members fail to communicate effectively in their research project. So, what been addressed by Prof. just now, I think it's very true. Communication play a very important role when it comes to research work. Okay, for the leader and also for the team member, they have to communicate effectively to ensure that the success of their research project. That's number one. Okay. And then number two, the second thing I want to highlight here. Okay, you see, with AI around today, okay, I believe researcher productivity should be double. Okay, should be double. The productivity should be double. If before the availability of AI, researcher only produce, let's say, 3 papers per year. Now with the AI around, researchers should produce 6 papers a year.
Oh my
It should,
God.
it should be double. It should be double. It should be double. But we need to bear in mind, it's not about AI to write the research paper. AI just assist, okay. AI just an assistant to the researcher. But in order to determine the quality of the research work or the paper, the research paper, the researcher or the team of the research itself must ensure that they achieve the quality that they want to produce. So again, in terms of productivity, yes, researcher should be able to produce more papers with the assistance of AI. Assistant of AI, not to ask AI to produce paper. That is wrong. Okay, so I think that is my comments about what have been touched on by Prof. Jude just now. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Subu, you want to reflect something?
Okay. Thank you, Prof. I think I agree with I agree with Prof. Jude, and in opinion, AI just very useful for our search of information. But if student can this device, yeah, but just for the first information, just make he must make some reflection, or he must make a better explanation about the result. So I just I agree because with AI they have precise information, but sometimes we uh, such if I have a lecture, we must assist assist them or our student to how to make paper on task based on AI, but with use their style of their their written style. So it is it makes a student have experience to use AI for uh, their final their pass their use for they use the AI for their learning, but they must to not just stop for base AI, but he must write better. It is my opinion. Sorry.
Okay. So, Dr. Chut, you would like to say something reflecting to both of them?
Yeah, oh, well, I'm glad that we all agree about AI and its usefulness. Yes, but I agree that like any other tool, it can be abused. Okay, and that's the reason why we, as faculty and researchers, should be able to teach our students how to use this tool properly, so that it can help them, and so that they will not abuse it. Um, of course, internet we know is another tool, and we know internet can also be abused, and therefore we're here to teach our students how to use the internet properly, and they will not abuse. So it's now, you know and that is basically our role as a um, as a teacher. Okay. But what is good about teamwork is that if there are many people in a team, and one is doing bad, then the others can tell that one doing bad to behave or act properly. Okay, so that's also, I think, the importance of a team. It's not only bringing in from your particular perspective, but also uh, putting everybody in order. So yeah, and that's why I really agree with the collaboration and co-creation part of the research process.
Yeah, it's so beautiful, yeah. So the Dr. Sahil talk about how important of communication, like I think that the AI could help in any kinds of transmission, right? AI could even do some negotiation, right? But finally, I think that the final one to balancing or the negotiation in our ecology is human being, the researcher themselves, right? So I think that could be half AI and human being, right? That's a how, because once we saying that AI, you do something, you distribute something, they just do it, just do it, multiply it. But who will care for any kinds of inspecting or negotiating or balancing kind of that? And AI could do some of the drama, but who will judge all the dramatism to make it balance, right? Human being, right? So I think that that is the point of communication from the side of Dr. Sangyu is, yes, it's a must. It's very good. AI can help, but the first order or the research leader have to be the one that make a function. And then another thing that Dr. Sahil talk about, once we are surrounded by AI, quantity should be more. Quantity should be more. I think that that is automatically pop up in my mind is AI could help in both quantity and quality. AI could help in facilitating all kinds of editing, grammar, all kinds of that. So we should know how to handle the AI, right? So that's the how. So I think that uh, by the conclusion, I think that the academic network is a must now, because Dr. Jude and myself sit together here with some of the colleagues here one day, 6 hours. The world already jumping ahead. We don't know, right? But our network know. So I think that if we can build up the academic network and work together, I think the world can be more happier, can be more effective. So I think this is a point. Collaboration among each other is could be better, could be more effective. AI could help us, right? So meaning that I'm not sure that if we have AI, our work can be less, our life can be happier. I don't know. I don't know because uh, you just imagine that I'm the baby boomer, you know. During my time, if I want to eat some rice, I have to go to the forest to get the firewood, to get the charcoal, and make a fire and cook a rice. It take a lot of time to get rice to eat. But right now, I just press the button, 10 minutes, and then I get a rice. I should be more free time, right? But right now, my life is even double busy. So just imagine that if we have AI, researcher can do more productive, can do more effective. I don't know, right? So since you are all the guru in doing research, one word from you each, and then we can close the session. Dr. Jude, would you like to say something?
Well, yeah, AI is there to, I agree with Professor Zahir. AI is really there to increase productivity.
Mm,
But in the end, AI does not guarantee that you will produce great research.
mm,
It is not there that will ensure uh, that your research paper will have a big impact on
mm,
society. It cannot do that.
mm,
What is still important is the human being. The human beings is still one. The human being is still the center of the research process.
mm,
If you are not comfortable about your topic, whatever you do, you're not comfortable, it will not be great. It should be a topic that you really believe in, that you're passionate about. And looking for colleagues who are as passionate as you for those particular topics. And as Professor Zahir said, great communication within the team that will be able to produce it. Because I really like the photo that Professor Zahir showed about the digging of the ditch, because that will be the result if there is no good communication within the team.
yeah.
But anyway, my last word really is human being is the center of the research process and it is not AI.
Great, great. Dr. Sahil, any reflection from you? One word.
Okay, Associate Prof. Kam. First of all, I would like to thank you, STOU, for organizing this wonderful this discussion among the academicians from different university, from different country, and from different background. Okay, so I think this is the starting point. Starting point, so that in future we can have more discussion like this to discuss on the current issue, anything related to the research. Which I think I myself, to be honest, I learned a lot of new things from the response given by our panel, Prof. Jude, Prof. Subo, and also Prof. Lai. So, and also from Associate Prof. Kam. There are many perspectives, many ideas which I think can be implemented in our research work. So it's a very good discussion today, and I'm looking forward to have this kind of discussion or event in the future. Thank you. That's all from me.
Yeah, that is very good point, Prof. Sahil. I think that as for being the pro vice chancellor of Dr. Jude, I think that next forum half day might be hosted by the ULAB, Liberal Arts Bangladesh. Yeah, because his team is very super active and super productive. So I think that online basis for half day would be some kinds of good, so we can have some more brain food together and link collaboration, no? So Dr. Jude, okay? Yeah, great, great. Dr. Subu, one word from you.
He's muted.
Very thank you for Prof. From Prof. Jude, Prof. Zahir, Prof. Kam, because I have many information about AI, especially it is I always use many times this device, but and I can maybe I extend this information to our student how to use it, but to improve their quality of the task or their thesis. Thank you, Prof. Prof. Jude, Prof. Kam, and Prof. Zahir.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm very happy that today we got a chance to talk together, especially my younger friend, Vice Chancellor Dr. Jude, to sit beside me and get coffee with me. So who knows, yeah, always happy to share the brain food together because we are the academia. Our passion is open for new learn every day, right? And then how can we use our expertise to share among us and make any kinds of impact to our society? So that is the roles of us, beside from being the academia and the researcher.
Yeah.
We have to contribute to our crazy country like Thailand. During over the lunch, we talk about how crazy of Thailand politics now. Nah? You all might heard about this. We are still under the process of fighting for the cabinet. Many things going on. So maybe the politician need to be trained about communication and AI, so they can arrange more systematic communication. So let's have this kind of communication further. And then on behalf of the School of Communication Arts, STOU, we would like to thanks all the friendship given by you all, and hope that with our hands, academia network, we will link together. So see you. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Bye bye. Thank you. Selamat. Selamat.
Okay.
Bye. Bye
Thank you,
bye.
Prof. Prof.
Yeah.
Kam,
Bye
Prof. Jude,
bye.
Prof.
Bye
Zahir.
bye. Thank you.